What's good, people? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, let's talk Dave Allen versus Lucas Browne for a few minutes. I don't think I've ever spoke about Dave Allen. Very, very interesting character. This fight is supposed to happen April 20th, and it's supposed to happen at the O2 Arena in London. I say supposed to because April 20th is what, 6-7 weeks when we've had no announcement as yet, which is a bit strange. And it's supposed to happen at the O2 Arena for Dave Allen versus Lucas Browne. Not quite sure. I mean, the O2 Arena is what, 20,000? I mean, look, you don't have to fill the O2 Arena, don't get me wrong. I know Matchroom have done events there where they've had 8 and 10,000. They've just blacked out the seats. But I feel like to get a very good atmosphere, why not chuck it in a venue where you know you're going to get full capacity, like the Copper Box, which is a couple of minutes that way. That's why I pointed. It's a couple of minutes that way. Or even the Royal Albert Hall. I think we all saw how good it looked on TV yesterday. And by all accounts, the atmosphere there was amazing. I mean, that does what, 6,000-7,000 as well. So I mean, there are other venues to choose, but I guess if they have signed a contract with it being at the O2 Arena, it's going to happen at the O2 Arena. It's strange when you think about this fight because Eddie Hearn did an interview, when was it? After the fallout of Dillian Whyte versus AJ. So as soon as we realized that Dillian Whyte wasn't going to fight AJ and that they were pursuing Dominic Breazeale as some sort of final eliminator, Eddie Hearn did an interview, and I did a video about it actually, that he was trying to put together this amazing pay-per-view card, which consisted of Dominic Breazeale versus Dillian Whyte headlining. Co-main event would have been Chisora versus Parker. Good. And then the co-main event would have been Carlos Takam versus Michael Hunter, who I'm really high about. It looks like Carlos Takam's going to fight Usyk and Hunter, maybe Povetkin. And then after all those three was going to be Dave Allen versus Lucas Browne. So it's gone from being, what, fourth choice on a card to potentially headlining a card, which is no slight on either boxer, but it's a shame that we don't get that heavyweight card and we now are left with this. I say with this because we don't know what this is yet, but we do know it's Lucas Browne versus Dave Allen. We are, I think, hearing that Derek Chisora will be on the card as well. Against who? Again, we don't know, but that's the makeup of the card so far. I said at the beginning that Dave Allen's an interesting character, and he is. He's either, and I follow him on social media, I think he's either very comical or very downbeat about himself. He's never really in the middle. It's either very comical, very downbeat. I know that he went through a period of depression and I don't want to say mental health, but something along those lines as well. And I think he's finally starting to come into his own now. I do. I think he's been severely mismanaged. I think of his career, and I think there was a time when he was, what, 10 and 11 and 0 or something like that, and just an up and coming good British heavyweight, and someone decided it made sense to put him in with Dillian Whyte. I mean, who fucking decided that? Who? I mean, is this a fault of, Eddie? Is it his management? Is it Dave Allen himself just taking these fights and just wanting the paycheck? Then after that, they put him in with Luis Ortiz, who at the time was arguably the most dangerous heavyweight at the time. They decided to put him in with Luis Ortiz. Again, who makes these decisions? So you've got a kid that was, again, I don't remember if he was 10 or 11 and 0, and you put him in fights against Dillian Whyte, who only had one loss, that was to AJ, and then the dangerous Cuban southpaw, Luis Ortiz. I mean, it makes no sense. There was a bit better management after that. Obviously, he had that fight against Lenroy Thomas for the Commonwealth title, and that's kind of where he is, right? Commonwealth, fringe European. He lost that by split decision. And then, again, another stupid decision. Let's just chuck him to France to face the then Olympic gold medalist and unbeaten Tony Yoka. Who makes these decisions? Which is why I say his career has been mismanaged. It's just ridiculous. Is there going to be a set plan for him going forward where we can say, okay, this is your trajectory. You're going to take this fight and then you're going to go European and then fringe world level. And he could be fringe world level, by the way. Or we're just going to keep chucking him to the wolves like this. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense for me. I think the fight he's got up against Lucas Browne is a perfect fight for him. It's a fantastic fight. And this is the level of opponents that he should be fighting. Not the Yokas and Ortiz and Dillian Whytes of the world. Makes no sense whatsoever. Lucas Browne's a winnable fight. It's a name on the resume. And I guess in the heavyweight division right now, you're only a couple of wins away from a decent payday. You're only a couple of wins away, not just from a decent payday, but you're a couple of wins away from one of those international or regular bouts. And look, you get one of those, you never know, right? For Lucas Browne, look, he almost didn't make it here. He had a so-called warm-up fight in Scotland and he got put down in that, and it was a 6-rounder. So my conspiracy theory antennas are already fully up. When you get put down in the 6-rounder, I haven't watched the fight in full, but I need to watch the fight to see if he really did win and if his opponent just took the foot off the gas, because I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that there's anything left in Lucas Browne. I mean, I know he's had 3 fights, I think, after the Dillian Whyte knockout, but all 3 of those have been against guys with terrible records, like terrible records. I think he fought Julius Long recently, and Julius Long is, I think he must have lost like 17 of his last 20 or something ridiculous like that. So I don't know what's left of Lucas Browne, if I'm honest with you. I think he should have retired after that Dillian Whyte performance. I mean, it was awful. The performance was awful. He came in way overweight, and the knockout was, I think, knockout of the year for 2018. I'm trying to think, did I give it knockout of the year? I think I did. It wasn't just the knockout, it was the way his face hit the floor and he was bloodied, he was beaten up, and I thought that was it. So obviously he's come back for one last big payday. And look, to be fair to Lucas Browne, this is the type of fight he wins normally. I mean, you look at the record, these are the level of opponents that he actually does beat. He has got some good names on that record. Look, he beat Rudenko when Rudenko was unbeaten. He went to Russia and beat Shagayev for the regular version. I think it was a WBA belt. So obviously that fight has a bit of an asterisk because of the PED stuff after. But these are the fights he can win. And the last thing they say go with any good boxer is a punch. He still can punch. So can Dave Allen. So this should be an entertaining fight for the fans. Again, for Dave Allen, this is a fight that he could and should win. And if he does win, let's hope that his management team and Eddie Hearn properly map out a plan for him, because, you know, there's a future for him in the heavyweight division. I'm not going to say he's going to go on and win world titles. That's just, I don't think that's in his makeup. But he could still be relevant. I mean, he could still be relevant and he could earn a good few paydays. And like I said, those are those fringe international and regular belts, and he could win one of them. He could easily win one of those belts, trust me. He's only 26. He's only lost 4 times. Tony Yoka, that fight should have been overturned. Yoka, obviously, straight after that fight, got banned by the French Federation for, I think, 3 missed tests. Dillian Whyte, Luis Ortiz, and a split decision to Lenroy Thomas. He's not that bad. So it's a good opportunity for him. I actually think the fight will be a good fight. For as long as it lasts, I think it will be entertaining. Both of these guys bite on their gum shield and swing. And sometimes fans just want that. Sometimes fans don't want technical stuff like Loma and Floyd. They want 2 guys, 2 big guys, to get in the ring and swing. And these guys will definitely do that. What do you guys make of it? What do you guys make of Dave Allen? Should Lucas Browne even be in this position? Should he have retired? Let me know your thoughts. Peace.